Ever wondered how to make a chef-style cannabis-infused tiramisu at home? Well, let me tell you, it's much simpler than you might think. Just imagine the creamy, coffee-soaked layers of a classic tiramisu, with a little extra twist to make your taste buds tingle. Today, I'll guide you through each step to create this deliciously decadent dessert. And the best part? You don't need to be a Michelin-starred chef to do it. So, are you ready to dive into this culinary adventure? First things first, gather all your ingredients. You'll need a cup of strong brewed coffee, cooled 2 tablespoons of cannabis-infused rum or liqueur, 3 large egg yolks, half a cup of granulated sugar, and 8 ounces of softened mascarpone cheese. Also, grab a cup of heavy cream, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 24 ladyfinger cookies. For the final touch, keep some unsweetened cocoa powder for dusting and dark chocolate shavings for garnish. Now that we have everything ready, it's time to start cooking. Kick off the process by preparing the coffee mixture. Begin by taking your cooled, strong, brewed coffee. This is the backbone of our tiramisu, providing that rich, robust flavour we all love. Now, add a dash of whimsy with your cannabis-infused rum or liqueur. This adds a unique twist, infusing our dessert with a subtle, intriguing note. Stir these two together in a shallow dish until they're fully combined, creating a harmonious blend of flavours. With the coffee mixture ready, we can move on to the next step. Now let's whip up some creamy goodness. First, we'll start with the heavy cream. Pour it into a mixing bowl, along with a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which will add a subtle depth of flavour to the cream. Use a whisk or an electric mixer to beat the mixture until it forms stiff peaks. This means when you lift your whisk out of the bowl, the cream should hold its shape rather than drooping or falling flat. Be careful not to overbeat though, as it can turn the cream into butter. Once achieved, set this bowl aside. Now onto the mascarpone mixture. This is where our tiramisu gets its characteristic rich and creamy texture. In a separate bowl, take 3 large egg yolks and half a cup of granulated sugar. Beat these together until they turn a pale and creamy colour. This process is called ribboning because when you lift the beater, the mixture should fall in thick, smooth ribbons. After achieving the perfect ribbon, add in the softened mascarpone cheese. This Italian cheese is the star of the show, giving our tiramisu its creamy, indulgent texture. Beat this into the egg mixture until everything is smooth and well combined. Now it's time to unite our two mixtures. Gently fold the whipped cream into the mascarpone mixture. Folding is a careful process that involves scooping from the bottom and folding it over the top. This method ensures that we don't lose the air we've whipped into our cream, keeping our mixture light and fluffy. Continue this process until the cream is fully incorporated into the mascarpone mixture. A little tip here, always make sure all your ingredients are at room temperature before you start. This ensures they blend together seamlessly, resulting in a smoother, creamier tiramisu. And voila! We have our delicious creams ready for assembly. Stay tuned, because up next we're going to assemble this creamy, dreamy, cannabis-infused tiramisu. You're in for a real treat. Now comes the fun part. Assembling the tiramisu. Picture a towering skyscraper, each floor a decadent layer of flavour. That's what we're about to create. But instead of steel and concrete, we're working with ladyfingers and mascarpone cream. Intriguing, isn't it? So let's start with the foundation. You'll want to take each of your ladyfinger cookies, all 24 of them, and give them a quick dip in our coffee and cannabis-infused rum mixture. Be careful not to over-soak them. We want them moist, not soggy. Think of a well-watered plant, not a rain-soaked garden. Once each biscuit has had its coffee bath, it's time to create our first layer. Arrange your ladyfingers neatly at the bottom of your chosen serving dish or glasses. You can get creative with this. Think of it as a biscuit jigsaw puzzle, where all the pieces are deliciously identical. Now, it's time to add some creaminess to this crunchiness. Spread half of our velvety mascarpone cream mixture over the ladyfingers. You'll want to ensure it's even, creating a smooth canvas for our next layer. It's a bit like icing a cake, but far more indulgent. Then it's time to repeat. Another layer of our coffee-dipped ladyfingers goes on top of the cream. And yes, you guessed it, the remaining mascarpone cream covers this layer too. Now we have a beautiful tiramisu tower, a monument to all things sweet and satisfying. Take a moment to admire your handiwork. It's not every day you build a dessert skyscraper after all. But we're not quite finished yet. There's one more step before our masterpiece is complete. Now that our layers are set, we're almost there. Patience is a virtue, especially when it comes to letting our tiramisu set. Now that the layered masterpiece has been assembled, it's time to let it chill and infuse all those rich, bold flavors together. This isn't an instant gratification kind of dessert, my friends. It's a work of art that needs time to reach its full potential. So, go ahead and cover your tiramisu with a bit of cling film. You wouldn't want any fridge odours to interfere with your creation, would you? Now, gently place it in the refrigerator. This is where the magic happens. The tiramisu needs at least 4 hours to set, but for the best flavour fusion, let it rest overnight. Now imagine it's tomorrow. You've waited patiently, and it's finally time to unveil the masterpiece, but we're not quite finished yet. The final touch is a generous dusting of unsweetened cocoa powder over the top. This will add a touch of bitterness that perfectly contrasts the sweetness of the dessert. And let's not forget the dark chocolate shavings, the proverbial cherry on top. These little details make a world of difference, trust me. Now comes the best part, serving. Slice into that creamy coffee-infused beauty and watch as your guests' faces light up in anticipation. And when they take that first bite, pure bliss. And there you have it, a chef-style cannabis-infused tiramisu ready to impress your guests.